My people, what is going on? It is your main man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform, Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. I welcome each and every one of you to episode 142, Student Loan Forgiveness Vent. I'm about to vent and get my rant and rave on. But before I do, I want to practice the attitude of gratitude and thank each and every one of you who are here with me live as I stream across the Wealth Our Way Facebook page and Wealth Our Way Network YouTube page. Please subscribe to the YouTube page, Wealth Our Way Network. I want to just say bang and give the Wild Nation salute to every member of Wild Nation who watches this program pre-recorded overnight, over the weekend, wherever you can squeeze 15 minutes of financial literacy in, and then a heartfelt how are you to the good folks on the Life 101 platform who listen to the audio recording of this very here program. So note to self, stop scheduling flights on Tuesdays and Thursdays when you know you have to record 15 minutes of finance. So I'm in the airport right now, about to take a flight in about an hour, and you'll probably hear people traveling next to me. Not going to go the whole 15 minutes today, but I definitely wanted to make sure we had an episode today, given that we didn't have one on Tuesday. With that being said, did we not have a ball last night? Can we just give it up real quick for Donovan, Christina, and Diana? They did their thing last night. And yes, 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 we will be having them back. I'm trying to put the logistics together now to have them back on the last Wednesday of the month to do a part two, because there was so much that I wanted to talk about that we never got to because the conversation was just moving so organically and smoothly, and it felt wrong to try to force it a certain direction. Once again, I tell you guys, I'm new to this interviewing game, and I'm sure Oprah could have got all of it in, but I wanted the conversation to go the way it was going, and we'll do a part two to get the rest in. So let's talk briefly about student loan forgiveness. You know, I got my girl, Dr. Dobson, Genevieve Dobson, Dr. Jen, who comes on and talks about student loans, and we will have her on again before the end of August because it was just announced, I want to say yesterday or the day before, that they've extended the moratorium on student loans. And yo, I'm going to be sweating all episode because I'm moving through the airport and I got to keep this mask on. So you'll see the towel. Bang, quick hitter. So the moratorium has been extended to the end of August, and right now you're not paying any principal or interest on your student loans. However, it looks like it's coming back. We still have people lobbying and arguing and jumping up and down to hope that we eventually cancel all student loan debt. We have a more realistic case that 50,000 in total student loan debt will be forgiven. But right now, what I'm here to talk to you about today is twofold. First of all, I'm going to give you the financial knowledge that I always give and talk about how you need to prepare yourself to re-budget for your student loan payments. I do not know what you have chosen to do with the extra cash that you were not sending to the student loan people, but they want their money back in September. So you have to start to now, whether you're paying your own student loans, paying your children's student loans, whatever the case may be, you have to prepare to re-enter that amount into the budget. Prayerfully, you've been taking the good advice that I give you on 15 Minutes of Finance, and you've deployed that money somewhere useful. You didn't just go out and take a trip or buy a new pair of shoes. Prayerfully, you paid down some high interest debt, or you put it into some investments and you've watched that money grow. In either instance, come September 1, as they are saying right now, it will be time to start making your payments again. So I want you to prepare for that day in advance. An ounce of prevention beats a pound of cure, is what my grandmother always said. If you start to think about it now, here we are at the beginning of April. September will be here in less than half a year. April has come upon us very quickly. So the reality is that we need to start budgeting that student loan payment back into our budget. So that's the educational part of today. Now let me vent for a minute. I don't want to come across heavy-handed because I am still paying student loans down for my second oldest daughter. My situation with my kids is I told them that if they had any amount that I needed to pay for college, because I promised them that I would pay for their college educations, that I would have them take out student loans and I would pay the student loan because my money is doing better for me, earning higher rates of return than to take it all and give it to a college. I'd rather pay a 4.5, 5% student loan interest rate than give up the returns that I'm getting on my money. So I have my oldest daughter is done with all of her educational costs other than what she's doing in law school now. Shout out to the big baby. But my second oldest daughter, who got her degree from Georgia State, her loans currently are not due, but I've been paying on them since she got out of college. Now, I would love for them to be wiped out. Do not get me wrong. But I'm still going to vent because, like everyone who's asking for them to be wiped out has a valid and self-serving point as to why they don't want to pay this money anymore. I have to speak on behalf of those of us who paid their student loans off and struggled to do so, had to fight, had to budget, had to cut here, didn't build wealth in other places because we were focused on paying this debt off. We had a plan to get out of debt as expeditiously as possible, and we stuck to that plan. Where is my reward? If we are going to forgive student loan debt, if we're writing checks, and the government seems to be writing checks over the last couple of years due to the pandemic, we need to have some type of compensation and consideration for those of us who did the right thing and paid their student loan debt down when it was due, or even accelerated the payments to make sure that they didn't carry the debt longer than they needed to. I think it is grossly inappropriate, grossly irresponsible, reckless, and unfair to consider eliminating student loan debt for people who still have it and not doing some type of compensatory payment to those of us who adhered to the rules as they were given to us and took the financial steps to be prudent in our debt management and made sure we paid our student loans down expeditiously. That's me. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack from those people who have student loan debt, who want to say, Big Tank, you make a bunch of money. Hey, I make a bunch of money because I went to college. I learned. I built a great network. It cost me money to go to college. I had to borrow money to go to college. And I took the money that I made as a result of being in college and redirected it into my student loans to make sure they were paid off. I'm not saying everybody's situation is similar and that they could do it as expeditiously as I did it, but the reality is that it can be done. And all I'm saying is I'm not telling you to not cancel student loan debt or forgive student loan debt for those people who still have it. I'm simply saying take consideration to those of us who successfully paid off our student loan debt. So that is my vent. That's my 2 cents. We're not going to hold 15 minutes today because I'm in the airport. Somebody's going to walk up on me any second now and ask me why I don't have my mask on. Probably have to slap one of those cats. Then you won't see me on Tuesday. But next week, we have another show lined up for the Financial Power Hour. I'm not going to let the cat out the bag yet. All month, we're going to talk about the cost of love. So with no particular order, we're going to have a family law attorney on talking about prenuptial agreements, postnuptial agreements, the cost of divorce, some of the situations that they see in their office. And then I want to have a couple on that works together and talk about the challenges of balancing work life with your love life when you have someone who's not only your love partner, but also your business partner. And if I'm fortunate, I may even get a conversation in here on co-parenting. So with all that being said, I want you guys to have an amazing weekend. I'm traveling. I'm going to see my TU family this weekend. Love y'all. I'm on my way. And always remember and never forget, wealth is not only for the wealthy. You guys take care.